Hello family, my name is Chris, I am your home gamer dad, and I welcome you to my next session for Transformers the Deck Building Game, where I'll be taking on the role of the game's first, and currently only hoping for more, combiner in the series, Devastator and the Constructicons. So this is going to be just a standard game that I play using these guys as my characters, and Devastator and the Constructicons play quite differently from the other Transformers within the game, and I'm going to go down and explain that a little bit more detail once we actually hit the table. But generally speaking, if you would like to play as this character and all the interesting things that he has, you're going to want to go to Dawn of the Dinobots because he is located in there. You're also going to get the Dinobots along with it, so in my opinion, that is a fantastic set to get. With that said, let's take our team of 6 powerful robots in their own right and snap ourselves together to make one giant hulking mass of destruction. Constructicons combine, and let's smash! Alright everybody, here we go. I have myself the Matrix already set up. I pretty much did all of the beginning basic setup and everything, so Matrix is already here. The main deck has been laid out in the way that I explained in previous videos that I've done, ways to make the main deck, and then of course what you need to do for a solo game. I have my Rise Up, my Damage, and my Encounter cards right here. If you need to have any of this explained, definitely go back and either watch any of my previous playthroughs or just watch my how to play and how to combine all the decks and everything like that together, because that explains pretty much all the points of this. So with all that here, I want to talk about Devastator and what makes him original. Well, them, really. I'm actually going to bring this over to the other camera just because it's easier to see. So first off, Devastator himself has a oversized card. Normally your Transformers that you get, whether it be Autobots or Decepticons, probably go about like here. He is much bigger because you have 6 Decepticons on this side, well, the Constructicons was really what I'd want to call them, in their team mode, and then on the other side is Devastator himself all combined together. He also has different starter cards than you would find with other Autobots or Decepticons. For the Decepticon, because he is a Decepticon, you're going to take those starter deck cards, remove all the Wrath cards, and replace it with his 6 Wrath cards, which each represents one of the 6 Constructicons that create Devastator. Scrapper, Scavenger, Long Haul, Hook, Mixmaster, and Bone Crusher. Your starter deck will have your Fix, your Hunt, your Firepower, and your Reserves, which is all the normal stuff you would have, and then of course your 6 Wrath. They normally will always give you 1 power each. That is what all the Wraths do. But because we have the Constructicons here, when you are in team mode, which is this side of the card, you're able to activate the team abilities on the bottom of each one of the Constructicons here. And they do a bunch of different things that really make it very helpful. You only have 1 movement as a team, because I guess it's a lot to move around with, 6 guys. But, Long Haul will give you an additional move. Hook will give you an additional range. You can just gain Energon through Mixmaster. You can defeat an adversary, or when you defeat an adversary, you may destroy a non-basic card you control. You don't want to get rid of these starter cards. These starter cards are so powerful. Even the basic 4 here, you never really want to get rid of. So normally when you're playing this game, you want to get rid of your starter cards to like balance out your deck. But I would never want to get rid of these guys. Here we go. Scrapper gives you another power when battling robots. Those are basically adversaries, but not bosses. And then, of course, picking an adjacent card in the Matrix. You don't have much movement already. Long Haul gives you 1, but this then gives you an additional movement. So that's what this happens here. Next time you convert this turn, lose 1 Energon, if any. So you're actually paying 2 Energon to convert into Devastator, which makes sense because when you convert into this massive monster, he is all of them combined together, so he needs a lot of power in order to be able to function. And again, with the Wrath cards, you don't have these team abilities anymore. So when you play these cards, they don't do anything other than give you their power or their energy right up here. But as a combiner, if you confront a boss, you can then pay 2 for each of them and gain +2 power. So you can gain 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 possible power if you happen to have the 10 Energon to like really put the hurt on any type of boss that you have me in. And that has saved me quite a bit. As far as Devastator himself goes, he does have a start a turn ability, which is lose 1 Energon. He's going to go basically burn through your Energon supplies really fast. So you want to make sure you have a lot before you convert and combine together. If you cannot flip this card to team mode, they've lost their energy. They have separated. +2 power, range 1 during your turn. So he himself will always have a range of 1 and 2 power every turn you get. This is different than the instruction book, just an FYI. It says range 0 in the instruction book. Go with what the card says. He has a range 1 with a +2 power. Fantastic. His 2 abilities are other characters in your space each gain 2 damage. That is great if you're doing a team versus team. So if he's in the same space with any other people that you're fighting, you pay 1 Energon and they all gain 2 damage. You're just smashing them on the ground. And then for 2 Energon, destroy a non-boss card in your space, then gain a different card with 2 to 5 cost from the destroyed pile. Awesome, awesome ability, especially if something causes you to destroy a card that you absolutely want. You can pay 2 Energon, take the card you're on, swap it, and then gain that powerful card back. And then Devastator himself is just much bigger. It needs 2 standees in order to go on compared to all of the other Autobots and Decepticons that we have so far. So that is what makes Devastator different. You always start on team mode, which is what that's going to be. And then these are going to get shuffled back into the deck. So let's go ahead and start this up so you can see the Constructicons in action. Let me shuffle this and we'll go. All right, so I am going to start with Devastator right here. We'll just put him like that for right now, just so you can see where he goes. But as I flip over cards and everything, I'll move him around and whatnot. Again, starting in team mode, I have my -1 for movement here because the team only get 1 movement. Devastator also only gets 1 movement as well, so I would definitely advise trying to find cards that grant you movement early. So this is where you can start searching through the Matrix. But with that said, let's go ahead and make our first 5 card draw and start this up. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so what's great about reserves is that I'll be able to gain some Energon right off the hop. So we're just going to put that into the play area immediately. So I will gain 1 Energon because I have 3 or fewer. We also have 4 of the 6 Constructicons right here. Ooh, I can peek an adjacent area. I do have an additional move as well, which is great. I probably won't be defeating an adversary this turn, but I do have a lot of other, I have some range on it as well. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and start, I'm going to put Scavenger up into the play area as well. So let's gain our Energon, let's take a peek at a card, and then use our current movement. We'll use actually Reserve's movement to look at below us. So there we go, let's do that first. All right, so we got 1 Energon here. We're going to look at, whoops, come back here, the card that is below us, which happens to be, Decepticons Attack. You may attack target character within range, dealing 1 damage. So this doesn't really matter at all because I'm not going up against any other enemies in this, so its ability doesn't mean much. I do get, and even that, I don't have any assist from other player. Really, all this card is 2 power, 1 range, and 1 movement, which still is really good. Not really too bad about that. And we'll go ahead and we'll do this one down here. Let's take, well, it's peek. So really what it is I look at it, it's a dodge card, and because I'm peeking at it, it has to go back face down. I would need to have like a movement or something in order to be able to get to it. What was that again? It was another 5, draw 2 cards, which is really good. We like drawing cards. Unfortunately, do I have enough? No, I have 4. I can manage 4 this time, even with a range of 1. So let's go ahead and put Long Haul down here. We do gain an additional movement, and there's really nothing else. So we'll just throw everything into the active pile right now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 power to spend. I have my base movement and then another movement. Let's go. We're going to move over here. So we'll use that for the movement, and then we'll use Long Hauls to flip this over. Oh, no, Sunstreak. I would have been on top of that when he hit. So that's going to be, that's going to be an attack on us. I'm just going to move this right here. And we'll go right down over here to the encounter card and flip up our ambush. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a starter card, gain 1 damage, otherwise destroy it. Well, we know what it's definitely going to be. It's absolutely going to be a starter card. It's actually Scrapper. Isn't that wonderful? So there's that, and we're going to be taking a damage. I didn't shuffle in any of the special damage cards, so we're just straight damage this time. We're going to throw that right under here to show that we have 1 damage. If we ever get 5 damage, just like everything else, we immediately lose. So with that said, we'll put that to the discard pile, and I could actually defeat this guy. I would gain 2 Energon, technically, and you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to spend 3 out of our 4 to destroy Sunstreaker. There we go. Put him up there, and we gain 2 Energon. I'm just going to go ahead and put this here because I know I'm going to be spending a lot of energon. But hey, you know what? That's always a wonderful thing. And then Bone Crusher's ability is when you defeat an adversary, which technically I did, you may destroy a non-basic card you control. I don't want to destroy anything. It's way too early to destroy anything, and I haven't even put anything into my discard pile. So with all that said and done, we're going to go ahead and put these into our discard pile. We'll put that right up here. Let's refill the matrix and continue on. So here we go. Next draw. Yeah, so we know this is definitely going to be the rest of the Constructicons plus a few other things. So we got a fix in order to be able to get rid of that damage, which is great. Got a firepower, which gives us some more energy to use, or whatever it is, power to use, whatever you want. I go back and forth calling this power and energy. It's the same thing. It's just whatever you're buying and attack power are. And then hunt. Hunt is great too because not only do we get a movement, but we get a flip adjacent card. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put up fix, and I'm just going to flip it to the side because it's you may return one damage card you control by any player, so I'm going to fix myself, and then we're going to use the one movement to look to see what that card was that came in. All right, so damage is gone. That's just going to return back to the stack, and then the one movement, like I said, is going to flip this over to find out. Oh, it's Shockwave. Oh, I like having friendly Decepticons in here. The next time a card leaves the matrix during your turn, you may refill it immediately with any card from the destroyed pile face down. I mean, I don't want to put adversaries back in there, but it'd be interesting what I can get from that. And of course, back over here we go. I am, of course, one power short because I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Go figure. We're going to go ahead and use the hunt. We're going to flip an adjacent spot, and then maybe we're just going to move there just to see if we can do something about it. So we're going to flip this one down here. So this is Power Plant. Pay to move. Gain 1 energon or draw 1 card. Interesting. I don't have much movement to begin with, so that's not going to really help me at all. But I think I'm just going to move down there anyway with my team movement, just so I'm on it at the beginning of the next turn. Unfortunately, I don't have anything right now that I could buy because these are a little bit too expensive. I can buy a Rise Up. You know what? I am going to buy at least 1 Rise Up right now, just to add something to my pile. Do I want to do 2? No, I'm just going to do 1, just so I can have a little bit more movement. I'd rather start pulling out stuff from the matrix. So the other thing that's going on here, so say I used firepower in order to do that. So that was the 2 energy that I spent in order to get Rise Up, which I'll just put down right here. I'm going to go ahead and activate Mixmaster ability, put him up, and I'm going to discard Scrapper, because I didn't use it at all. And by discarding 1 starter card, I gain an Energon. So, ta-da! We'll roll 1 Energon back into here, and that unfortunately is going to be the end of the turn. Because I didn't refill anything in the matrix, this card is actually destroyed, which is an ally. Ongoing, move 1 during... Oh, I gain an additional move? Oh, man, and the next time a card leaves the matrix, I need Shockwave now in order to put this in. So I'm just going to put this. This is going to be like a destroyed pile of sorts. I need to put that back and get that back into play, definitely. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sweet. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, I don't really need... So I'm just going to use the movement for fix in order to go up the Shockwave, and then I'm just going to go ahead and... I mean, I really don't need to do that because I have range +1 for Hook, who gives... everybody, if I can remember, team range plus 1. So it should actually apply to every single one of my teammates here. And then Long Haul will actually gain me another move. Yeah, let's do that. Because this is already a range +1. So I have range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can grab Shockwave. And then I can move somewhere else and see what's there. I mean, you guys can let me know if it changes at all. But that's how I see it. Team +1 range means that everybody within the team would then gain a +1 range. I mean, he's Hook. He has that long range on him to everything, right? So we're going to go ahead and grab Shockwave, and then we're going to use our team movement to go here, and then we'll use the movement from Fix to flip this over to see what it is. Ooh, Evade. Another 2 movement, Flight or Block. That's really good. And if your character has Flight, which I do not say, that doesn't really matter, definitely want to grab this just so I can... gain that additional 2 movement, because you need to have the movement when going around with these guys. That works. I like it. So let's go ahead and just refill the matrix right here and kind of make our way. I want to make my way up and around this way just to see what a lot of these cards are before I start going back into this area and uncovering whatever. Well, I remember what this is, but then this is new, and there's a few other new ones as well. All right, so into the discard pile with Shockwave. All of these go in there as well. I use the movement for fix to do what I got to do. Let's go ahead and just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rise Up also gives me a 1 movement of flight, but I don't think I'm really going to need that at all. What I do want to do is we'll put Scavenger right here and just take a peek at what's above me. If I don't like it, I can always move somewhere else. All right, what are you? What are you? What are you? You are Mass Displacement. You may convert. If you do, this card has +1 power. I'll take it. Free conversions is always wonderful. So I'll use the movement from the team because I always forget to... Actually, no, hold on. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put Scrapper in as well. We're going to use the energy for both of them in order to take Dodge, which is what I'm currently sitting on. I'm sorry, Evade. Evade. Dodge is in a different spot there. So we took Evade for 2, which is good. So those have been spent. Those are fine. I'm just going to turn them sideways just so I know that they're done. And I want the card that's above me as well. So I have 2 movement left. I don't need anything else. So I'm going to put Mixmaster in. I'm going to discard Reserves because it's a starter card. That'll gain me 1 Energon. And then Rise Up. I'll just use the movement forward to move up that space. 1 more Energon here. We got a nice supply going. That's definitely what you want for this. We're going to move up here, and then we'll use the team's ability to flip that over. I don't have 3. I only have 1 left, but that is something that I will be buying next turn. All right, good. All said and done. Let's go ahead and refill the matrix and go on to the next turn. Put these in the discard pile. Draw 1. Reshuffle. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and do this. Flip out, flip out, flip out. All right, so Shockwave. Let me reread you just to make sure I know. The next time a card leaves the matrix during your turn, you may refill it immediately with any card from the destroyed pile. Okay, so the destroyed pile is a 2. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fantastic. This is great. So what I'm going to do first is we're going to put Shockwave into the play area because he's going to activate his energy right here. So what is that? That is a 3, actually. So let's put... you know what? Let's also take a peek at an adjacent card. So we'll put Scrapper in there. So I'm going to take a peek at this one really quickly just to see what we got. And it is Starscream for 5. Ooh, that's fun. I'm finding a lot of Decepticons. That's going to be very, very helpful. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and purchase this one for 3. So that's gone. So now, the next time a card leaves, I can take anything from the destroyed pile. So I'm going to take this military transport and put it here face down. I'm then going to use my 1 movement to look at this and flip it face up. So this way, I can then use Bone Cruncher and Rise Up in order to grab it. So with that said, so that goes here, and now I can take the military transport, and because it's an ally, it immediately goes into play. So I'm just going to put that over here, kind of underneath. It's hard still to see or whatever, but this is an ongoing effect, and I will always have an additional movement per turn. So I'm just going to give myself another one of these little tokens here. So I know that I can use this along with this one. And because I got it, I could use it right now. But before I do that, so I spent all my energy. That's all gone, whatever. I haven't spent the movement yet for Rise Up. Yeah, so I did both of these. Those are good. I didn't spend the movement for Rise Up yet, so I'm definitely going to have to do that. Well, no, I don't have to do that first. I can do that later. And I'm not converting. I also have Hunt. So I'm going to put up Hunt. I'm going to choose the flip, and then I'm going to determine where I want to go. Actually, what I'm going to do is I do have Flight, 1 movement of Flight for Rise Up. So I'm actually going to fly up here to this spot right there. I'm going to flip and look at, well, just completely flips this over. So we know that's Starscream. That's fine. I like that. We'll use the 1 movement from Rise Up to flip this. Abandoned Energon Mine. Place 12 Energon on here. Hold on. So this can go here. And this is one where I pay 2 power, I reveal the top card, and I gain 1 Energon equal to the revealed card's cost. Once this is empty, then this goes away. So I have to remember that. I know I screwed that up before, I just don't want to really screw that up now. And I don't have any additional power, do I? No, Rise Up only just gives me 1 more power. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. What I am going to do is I'll use my movement for my military to move over here. I just want to explore and see what's here. What can I build up with my deck first, and then start hopefully finding where the bosses are. Speaking of which, that's going to be the end of turn. So we'll refill the matrix, and we will go from there. So yeah, I mean, you're just kind of seeing how Devastator right now works in junction with the team mechanic for it. How each one of them does lay a different ability out for you that is extremely, extremely helpful, especially moving around 6 Constructicons all at once. And there's still going to be a lot that I want to put into my deck that I have to find. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... do I go back over to Starscream? I mean, I have movement. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 movement technically. And I'd love to grab Starscream because he'd be able to move me pretty quickly. Then again, Decepticon attack gives me a move, a range, and a 2 more power. Let's see. Well, why not both? Because again, the way I see it is team, range +1. It's a team ability. Maybe it's just Hook then. Maybe instead of everybody else, Hook is the only one that gets that. I probably screwed that up now that I reread it, because it should just be range +1, and it would stay for like all Constructicons or whatever. Man, that's kind of a thing, because if it's range for all Constructicons, then I could just grab Decepticon attack right where I am. The problem is I don't have that knowledge if that's the case. Yeah. I'd rather have Decepticon attack. So what we're going to do is we're going to use reserves. So we're going to click that in order to see what's below us, and then we'll determine if we want to purchase it from there. All right, so below Devastator is Charge. Gain 1 Energon. Nope, I'm sorry. I'm not moving anywhere. I am taking 4 of my energy and immediately purchasing that 100%. We'll then just continue our movement around. So I'll take both of the movement right here. We're going to move to the corner spot and flip it over, which happens to be Ironhide. Oh no, so we're getting attacked and ambushed by another Autobot. But, you know, these guys are chumps. They don't got anything. All right, let's see what you got, sir. Lose 1 victory point, which is lose 1 Energon. You know what? That's fine. I'll go ahead and do that. I gain enough Energon as it is. Plus, with the card that I just bought that gives me an Energon straight out, that's not going to be a problem at all. All right, so that's in there for 4. I've spent 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm actually going to activate because I put Mixmaster in here. We'll discard 1 starter card to gain an Energon. So I did that to gain back the Energon that I just lost. And that's going to be the end of my turn. Beginning of next turn, hopefully I'll have enough power in order to be able to beat up Ironhide. Awesome. Matrix refilling. I'm right here on top of Ironhide. And one of the other things that I messed up in my last few games is that you only draw an ambush card when a card either tells you to or a enemy is revealed. So I am starting my turn on top of Ironhide. He actually does not ambush me again. I do not have to worry about redrawing another card and having him come at me. So he is ripe for the pickings. Hopefully if I draw enough power in order to be able to beat him. All right, 1, which is great because Scrapper here is +1 power when battling robots. So he's technically giving me 2 power if I go ahead and fight Ironhide. Yeah, that doesn't help. That doesn't really help either. I gotta shuffle. All right, and at this point, there's not really too much more that could help me possibly defeat him. So, hooray, come on. Oh, man, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually don't even have enough to defeat him. Man, that stinks. But what I can do, I could convert. I would only lose 1 Energon because that's just his native thing. And then I would absolutely have enough in order to defeat Ironhide. Man, do I want to do that? No, I'm actually not going to do that because Ironhide's ability on the bottom is destroy 1 starter card you control. There is no maid there. I have to destroy a starter card that I control. And honestly, there is a good starter card that I would probably get rid of, which is reserves, because I gained so much Energon anyway. But that I don't control yet. It's not in my discard pile. It's not in front of me or anything along that ways. So I don't want to beat Ironhide until that card is in my discard pile. because I don't want to destroy any one of my Constructicons, which is awful. So, with that said, we're just going to keep moving around, and we'll come back and beat him later. Alright, let's go ahead and just use both of our movements right here. We're going to go down to this card, and we're going to flip it over, which is Nightbird. Start of turn, you may steal 1 Energon from target player with 3+ Energon. That really doesn't do anything for me because I don't have any other players or anything in the game. I may just buy him just to get him off the field. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Flight first to have a 2 movement to open up, check out a card. And then worst case scenario, I can always use any one of these other movements to get back to that ally, just to buy him and again to get rid of him and have something to replace the Matrix. So I'm actually going to fly down here. So we would have moved for 1 and then flip this for 2. We know that's dodge. I just want that kind of open right now. I don't have 5. No, I don't have 5. So why don't we go ahead and use... yeah, sure. Let's just use our other movement to go back over here from Rise Up. So it's a flight, so I'm flying back this way. We'll spend our Energon in order to... Our energy, I should say, to just put Nightbird into play. Doesn't really matter. He's more of a shield right now, so if anybody says discard an ally you control, he'll just be the one gone. That's fine. So we'll just move this like here as I get everything all types of weird right now. And then I have one more movement because I used this to fly back, so then my fixed card also gives me another movement. So I'm just going to move, I'm going to move down. Do I want to move down? No, I'll move to the right. Move myself right over here. If I had one more movement to get up to the abandoned Energon mine, I would have in order to be able to gain more Energon that way, but that's all right. I don't have that right now. Maybe next turn or whatever I can do that. I do have 2 power that I can still spend, so I'll take a Rise Up just to throw that in there, and that's going to end my turn. Refill and redraw. Put that there. These all go this way. And then 1, 2, 3 is pretty good, actually. I'm very happy with this. 4, 5. Beautiful, actually. I'm very, very excited for this. Let's just put let's just put Scavenger and Hunt right there. One is a direct flip and one is a peek. I'm going to direct flip this one. So this just gets flipped over because of Hunt, which is Rumble. All right, Rumble in the jungle. Beautiful. I do want you. And I get to peek at this card, which is Energon Stockpile, discard card, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so it's just basically the 2 Energon mines are next to each other. That is awesome. What do I got? You know what? Let's have some fun. Let's go ahead and do Mass Displacement. You may convert. If you do, this card has +1 power. Let's go. Constructicons, combine!
Constructicons, transform! Phase 1! Now, transform! Phase 2! Prepare to meet your doom. Nothing can withstand the might of Devastator!
So basically I'm doing this in order to be able to purchase as much as I can in the first shot that I have the ability to. So what I'm going to do is I have a +2 power and range of 1 as Devastator. So I'm going to definitely use both of those power immediately. We'll just put them down here off the board with a range of 1 in order to grab Rumble. I've already used my 1 movement here, but I'm going to use my 1 other movement from Dodge. Even though I said I wanted Decepticon attack, I really want Dodge down here because I can block incoming attacks and then draw 2 cards, which is fantastic. So I'm going to move down here, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I actually have 7 that I can use from here. This is already moved. This gained a power because of, what was it? The converting, which I have to spend an Energon anyway because that's what the team says I have to do, right? Or is that the other way? No, it's a team ability. Not the team ability. I do have to do it because it says the next time you convert, and this was that, so I have to spend the Energon anyway. Anywho, I have 5 that I can spend here, so I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 there, so I have 2 left over technically, and then I also have 2 movement from Mass Displacement. So I'll spend the 5 to grab Dodge, and again, I have 2 movement from Mass Displacement. Man, I wish I was on the power plant right here to be able to do something, but that's okay. We'll go 1, 2, and just stomp our way across this way. That's really good. This is a good time, because now we have 2 spaces to get refilled, so that's going to be the end of turn. I do have 2 left over, but I don't want to buy another Rise Up. These are great cards, don't get me wrong, but it's just 1/1/1. I need more energy and more other things in order to be able to do stuff. Let me just get rid of this Energon just so I have it. You do have a start a turn ability. Got to remember to remove an Energon that way. And put one here, put one here, and here we go. Put Rumble and Dodge into there. Put this stuff this way. And here we go. Now we got to start looking for bosses. Now it's a time that we need to start flipping over whatever we can find and get to a boss. So let's, and besides, I have to defeat Ironhide in order to be able to beat a boss, which really at this point, now I want to do it because Reserve would be the one that I would probably destroy and get that out of here in order to be able to just do whatever. I could destroy anything else and then just get it back with Shockwave, but I don't know. That just seems a little silly to do otherwise. I have 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and gain an Energon and put some movement into the field. All right, so we regain back our Energon here that let me take that back. We would have lost an Energon at the beginning of the turn, but then we gain it back because of that card. So we have 5 Energon right there, which is great. I definitely should make a chance to get over to the mine. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement. I do want to get up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could just and then while up here, I actually have 1+ energy that I can use. So I'm going to go ahead and destroy Ironhide, which is great. I gain 2 victory points, so that's 2 Energon here, which is great. And then destroy 1 starter card you control. I have to do that. And I'm going to destroy Reserve. Even though I already used the movement, it doesn't matter. Long Haul is going to give me another movement. I've used pretty much all of my energy already, so let's just move on over to a spot and call it a turn. Put this up here because that's destroyed, and we'll move there. Refilling the matrix, and starting again. Yeah, I already used these 2. I have a 2 power, which is, you know what? Let's I do have a 2 power plus 2, so let's go ahead and use that 2 power. Or actually, before I do that, this would have been here. Before I do any of that, I would have done range 1, 2 power, which would have activated the Energon Abandoned Mine. So I flip this over, and it's an alliance. So technically, I don't gain any Energon at all, which really stinks. And now I know that this is going to be a scheme card, or what are they called? Initiative, Autobot Initiative. So let's put that here, and now we end the turn. I know that when I'm on top is another Energon Mine, and I gain the Energon by discarding cards. So let's see what we can do. Maybe I'll just do that and just discard a bunch of things in order to, man, no, because I got Hunt. I want to hunt. I want to be able to do stuff. I want to grab things and whatnot. I also have a lot of energy here and some movement. All right, let's get going. Let's move. Let's do hunt, and then we'll do a flip so we know what's going on. So we got the 1 movement here from hunt, and then I'll flip this down here to see what it is. Ooh, it's slash. All right, so this is going to happen anyway. So this is the Raptor Dinobot, which I believe was introduced in comics only, was never in the actual cartoon. Resolve an ambush. This attack and the ambush cannot be blocked. So it doesn't really matter. So I have to resolve an ambush, and that's it. Not that I could block it anyway, but it is what it is. Lose 2 Energon. Ouch, for Devastator, that's not good. Because I lost 1 at the beginning of the turn and then lost an additional 2. Oh, I gotta destroy that dino as soon as I can. Especially because the ability is start of turn, gain 1 damage. So the faster I beat this thing, the less damage that I'm going to take as Devastator. Okay, so with that there, I know that I have 2 power on Devastator already, so he just has his stuff. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in reserve. So I have a decent amount of power. I know that as soon as I move down on top of it, another ambush is going to hit. So why don't we just go ahead and get that out of the way right now. So we're going to move, and we're going to go bloop, and we're just going to do another ambush. This one being gain 1 damage. Straight up 1 damage. That's about it. I'll just put these over here now because everything's starting to get a little bit cramped in this area. So now I'm going to go ahead and see what I have in my hand and then activate the Confront. So this will go right up here for charge. I'll gain 1 Energon, which is awesome. I don't really need the range, but all this can go up together. This is not going to do... Well, you know, yeah, let's do that so I can return the 1 damage card that I got. And then we'll do the confront. If he does gain a little bit more power, which I hope he doesn't, I can at least power up by 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Natively 8, 9 if I spend 2 Energon. So that's what it is. All right, so this is now back here, which is good. I do gain another Energon from the card. We're confronting him or her. I think it's a her. Is that a her? I forget what slash was. Them, whatever you want to call it. We're going to shuffle up here in order to see what the confront annoyance is going to be. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Add 2 to the adversary's cost for each Autobot robot in the Matrix. Okay, there are none. That's great. Problem, gain 2 damage. That's all right. I mean, it's what are you going to do at this point? But that also means that slash is still at a 6, which means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 in my reserve, and then I can also have here from Devastator. So boom, done. Finish. That is 6 damage, 2 slash, and hurrah! We have defeated 1 of the 2 bosses, or 3 bosses, I should say, in the game. So we are a third of the way of winning, but that also immediately ends our turn. What that means is we are going to go ahead and put this back here, and yeah, that's pretty much that. We'll stay as Devastator for right now, see what we can do. It's always very satisfying being able to beat a boss. So with that said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, now I wouldn't mind doing stuff because I can block this. I may lose this ability, but I get to gain 2 cards, which is fantastic. All right, so I lose an Energon because I'm Devastator, but I am going to use one of my movements to immediately flip this over and see what it is. Repair Bay. You may destroy 1 card you control. That's actually not the worst thing in the world. That's also only 2. You may return 1 damage you control to any player in your space or stack. Hey, that's fun too. I want to be able to flip over a few more cards. I have 1, 2 movement left, and I want to activate this too. So I'm going to use the 2 power from Devastator at a range 1 at the abandoned Energon mines here. We're going to flip this over. Oh, it's Ironhide. So I gain 8. This is just a reveal. So I'm just showing what it is. And now we're going to put this back. I'm pretty sure the attack doesn't happen because it only reveals from the Matrix, but I know that Ironhide is next. That is terrifying. And I gain 8, so let's grab this 10. We'll put that here. We'll put 2 back, so there's only 4 left here. I have a lot of Energon in order to be able to spend, which is awesome. So that's 2 from here. We'll use the 2 that I have in order to take the Repair Bay. We'll say that Shockwave gave that to me. So Shockwave's already done. And again, I have a few other things that I want to do. So we're going to go ahead and move with dodge, and then I'll flip over a card and see. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? We're going to do this. We're going to move on over 1 with dodge, and then we'll spend the 5 in order to take Decepticons attack as well. So then Ironhide will go probably here. I know he's one of the 2. I'll actually put him right there. Do I want to do that? I do have 1 movement left. Actually, technically, I have 2 movement left. That's done. I get to peek at an adjacent card with Scavenger, so I already played that, and I do have +1 move. So let's do a peek, and then we can do a move and move. I'm going to peek at this one right here. So what are you? You are, Halonix Maximus? It's another auto. So these are both Autobot initiatives. Ooh, God. Each player discards 1 ally. Technology cards you play have no inherent powers. Contribute 3 technology cards. No. So we're going to flip you right there. So these are both, initiative cards. I don't want to touch them at all. And I also have 2 movement. So I'm going to go 1. And then, that's the 1 from Long Haul. And then I'll use that here in order to flip this to see what it is, which is me smash brains. Oh, that's amazing. Look at that power. 3. You may attack target character. Doesn't really matter. But for 2 Energon, I simply defeat a robot in your space. It doesn't matter what it is. As long as I have the Energon, I could just defeat a robot. That also means Starscream. I could go up here and defeat him and throw him into the destroyed pile, which is really cool. I probably wouldn't want to do that, but it is something that I can do. I also maybe just want to buy that before I go up against Ironhide. So let's go ahead and say that is the end of the turn. We got 2 that we're going to place here, so we know that's Ironhide. And then another card here. So All right, we got some planning here. We got some strategy. Devastator isn't a big dum-dum, as people say. He actually is thinking about this turn to turn. We'll put these in here into our discard pile, put everything back here, redraw our 5, and based on it, I think Ironhide is a power of 8, so I need at least 8. And again, as much as I like the Rise Ups, they're not the best at times, only because they're only giving me 1 power apiece. All right, so why don't we go ahead and just drop all of these up here right now, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there we are. There's our 5 that we're going to go ahead and buy Me Smash Brains with. So we'll put that in here, and then I have lots of movement. So I'm going to go ahead and move once over to the power plant. So by moving over to the power plant, I can pay 2 move to either gain an Energon or draw a card. I do lose an Energon being Devastator at the beginning of the turn. I'm going to pay 2 movement, actually, which I might as well just leave those there, to draw an additional card. Kind of just seeing what I get as I go along. So I got, you may discard 1 starter you control to gain an Energon. I don't have any of that, so it doesn't matter. So I use the movement from there. I use my other 2 movement for the other things. I have lots of flight and block. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement left. And I used 5, so we'll actually say that was used. So now I have 1, 2 energy in order to figure out what I want to do. I use the power on this, so that's fine. I have 5 movement left, so why don't we go ahead and go, and one of its flight, so just move around. So 1, flip this over for 2, Teletran 1, very nice. 3, 4, blast off, hello Decepticon ally, Combaticon. The next time you are ambushed this turn, you may teleport to an adjacent space to avoid it. That's really cool. And then because I have my flight, I'm going to go here. And because I have 2 power left, I'm going to spend that 2 power to flip over the top card, which is Wingman. That's a cool maneuver card. And that means I gain 3 Energon from this spot. Now, what stinks is there's only 1 Energon left, so no matter what, I can only gain 1. But at least maybe in my next turn, I'll do that just to get this card out of there. So with that said, that does accomplish everything that was in my hand. We're going to go ahead and refill the matrix. We know that's the Wingman maneuver, which is awesome. Definitely want to go down and grab that. And there we go. Let's go ahead. Knowing where things are in the matrix does make it a lot easier in order to deal with. So there we are. Hello, Scrapper. And I have to say, depending on what comes out for these next 4 cards, you know what? Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right, so that's an interesting thing. All right, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and go right after Ironhide, because each one of these guys, because I'm a combiner, will gain me an additional +2 power. I also have to remember, and I know that I've done it, and I've probably put it on screen a few times, I keep activating team abilities, and I'm not in team mode. So I have been kind of screwing that up a little bit, and I do apologize. I get really excited sometimes when I see a lot of these going down, because I just want to use their powers and whatnot. So I can't actually do the things that I want to do, because I need to be in team mode in order to do the +1 move. Man alive. That was actually 100% my fault for screwing that up. I need to be in team mode in order to use their team abilities, as opposed to anything else. So why don't we go ahead and just convert ourselves back to team mode, do a few more things, and then get ourselves, man, this is such a great thing to fight everyone with, but it is what it is. So here we are, back in team mode. Man, I saw 3 movement. I'm like, 1, 2, 3, flip them over, fight them, we beat them, but that's not going to happen because I don't have any additional movement in order to get there, and it would have been just absolutely amazing. What I am going to do, though, is what do I want? Do I want Starscream or Blast Off? Probably Starscream, in all honesty. +2 power if you have no cards in hand, and this card is greater than any other card you control. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. So I don't have any additional range for it. I do have 2 movements, so we'll move 1 to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can just kind of do all that. When you defeat an adversary, move, peek at an adjacent card. Actually, no, before I move over, I'm going to peek at the card adjacent to below the mines, and then I'll move and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. So I would have been here. I would have peeked at this card, which happens to be brawn, so that goes back. So I know that's an Autobot, so I don't want to do that. 1, 2, 3. Don't really care about any of those. But I am here. I'm going to spend the 5, and we're going to grab Starscream. I do have an additional movement. I will go ahead and move here, and then Long Haul grants me a movement as well. So why not just move over here? Now I can start making my way back down to Ironhide, and then hopefully beat him and continue on with our win conditions. Sorry about that. I really hope that using these powers did not mess too much with the game in terms of, would it have been significantly different here and there, but it happens. You forget. Things happen the way that they are. Wow. Okay. Whoa. 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 Okay. That is awesome. 1, 2, 3. I have lots of movement. Nothing here. Oh, I have convert. I have you make convert, so I don't have to spend the extra energon. So, you know what? Let's go. Let's do this. Back to Devastator. Alright, so we lost the energy just because that's what the Constructicons do whenever they convert and combine, which makes sense. It's a lot of energy in order to do this. I can use the Rise Up to Fly 1, and then I'll use the Military Transport to flip over Ironhide, because we know that's who's here, and his reveal attack. Gain 1 damage, discard 1 ally, then resolve an ambush. I don't have any blocks, so it doesn't really matter, so I am going to gain another damage. Uh-oh, I'm at 3. That's not good. I need to get rid of those. I didn't even realize. Discard an ally. So we'll just put Nightbird back into my discard pile and then resolve an ambush. Alright, so we did that last time. And now it's lose 2 Energon. For a creature that needs a lot of Energon, or at least a robot I should say, that's not the best thing. Oh boy. 1, 2 gone. I still have 10 here, so that's pretty good. I just got to watch this damage right here and don't lose any more. All right, Charge is going to gain me an Energon, which is great. So I'll gain 1 of that back. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, what is it? Energy right here. Devastator gains me 2, so that would be 11. And then I can gain another 2 from Hook's Combine or Confront ability, because I can use that for 13. So that's at least 13 power that I could have in order to defeat him. Let's go ahead and confront him. We'll gain that Energon back, because I'm pretty sure we're going to need it. Let's reshuffle all this together. What was his starter turn ability? Discard 1 starter card. I need my starter cards. My starter cards are great because they're my Constructicons. They're the ones that have been helping me in doing most of the heavy lifting. Haha, pun right there. Let's go ahead and shuffle these. He is at a health of 8. Hopefully this doesn't do too much. Alright, add X cost to the adversary, where X is the highest cost of a non-boss card currently in the Matrix. So a non-boss card right now is Teletran 1, so it's 4. So 4 plus 8 is 12. Wait, I think I meet that, which is still a defeat condition. I do. All I have to do is pay 2 power right here from Hook, and then I should be able to beat him. Yep, absolutely. So we're going to go ahead. We'll spend that. We'll convert this to 5. I'll take 2, and we'll put them on Hook. So say we're using 2 Energon to use his Combiner ability, which is plus 2 power. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then Devastator always has naturally 2 power on him already, using 1 for 12. And with that, we have beaten Ironhide. We've gained 4 victory points, which is absolutely fantastic. And that is just another step to our ultimate victory. Wow, I can't believe we did that. That was insane. Awesome. All right, so as we all know, as soon as we are done with the confronting of a boss, that would go here, refill the end of turn. We'll put this back. I'm just going to lose this Energon right now, just so I don't forget, because he does have the starter turn ability as Devastator. And we'll start seeing what else. So we know this one we're not going to bother flipping over. We know that this is another Autobot, an adversary. So we still got a bunch of cards that we can figure out what they are. I'd like to try to get rid of some of these as well. I can get rid of that one. I can probably get rid of that one and dig through this faster in order to find boss number 3. final boss for the game. We also got to get rid of those damage cards. Let me tell you, Devastator, he's a strong one, especially when going up against other robots, because that's his entire purpose. Devastator Smash, which is great why I got that Me Smash Brains card. All right, here we go. We are Devastator, so we can't do whatever this is, which is discard a starter card to gain an Energon. That's fine. We don't really need to do that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 movement. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just start running around with stuff. We'll put up Hunt first, so we can flip the card we're at, and then flip an adjacent card. So let's see what it is that we got from here. Headmaster, all right, that's fine. Each ally you control, target robot has +2 power. I gain a lot of allies, which is great. And then I'll flip this one as an adjacent, which is Wingman, as we knew it was. So that's 4, 7. I could just convert in order to be able to do it. So you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's plop that in here, and you may convert. If you do, this has +1 power. Awesome. So then this will be a 3, and we'll just put Rise Up in here. I might as well just do the conversion anyway, and gain 4. So that would be 3, 4. Man, oh wait, nope. Oh, back up. I need the 4 right now. So let's put these up here in order to be able to do that. And I can use the 2 power from Devastator. All right, we're doing that. Order of operations, remember this. So we're going to use the 2 power here from Devastator for 4 in order to purchase the Headmaster. And then we're going to go ahead and use Mass Displacement, which is you may convert. And that will trigger my conversion. I didn't use it here. I'm going to use it here. So then this becomes a 3. I'll move down the Wingman, purchase it, and it'll be awesome. Back into team mode we are. So we have our movement. So we'll go ahead. I'll just use the military transport movement to go here. Spend a 3 to purchase Wingman, which is awesome. I still have, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement left, which is crazy as the team. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I know what that is. I don't want that. That's bad. We don't want to do that. So let's go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we'll do that. So we'll go 1, 2, flip this over for 3. That's right, it's Brawn. Oh, man. I made the mistake. I did it. That's what I did. That's what I get for forgetting. Lose 1 victory point. That's fine. I can lose the 1 Energon. I am team mode, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so we get rid of this. And it's like, he has a 2. But I can't beat him because I've already used all of my energy anyway. So anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have no energy left. I'd rather just be up here so I can flip that next turn. And then that's going to be the end of that. So I've used all of my movement from all of my cards. I've used all of my energy from all my cards. And at least I have 2 cards I can refill the matrix in for this turn. All right. Got to beat him before we do anything else. I should be able to acquire 5 to grab Blast Off and then get rid of Brawn. And then that'll be a nice thing as well. All right, so those go in here. Put all this way. Where's my fix? Where's my repair bay? I need to be able to, Shockwave. There's my fix. This is my repair bay. Beautiful. Okay, nice. Definitely want to start healing myself a bit here. Let's just immediately do that. Return 1 damage card. And then controlled by any player in your space. So it's destroy 1 card you control. So that's here. I can destroy any card I control, which I don't want to really do that. But I will go here and I will spend an Energon to get rid of 2 damage cards. That's good because now that damage was starting to pile up anyway. So he is a little bit healthier now. I might as well go ahead and just use the 1 movement from the military transport to see what this is. Hopefully it's something good. Ground Bridge. Block. Gain 1 Energon and teleport to any space. Or I can just pay 1 to teleport to a space I want to. Other characters in your space may choose to teleport with you. Interesting. I have 7 in order to play with, so maybe that's something that I'm going to do. Do I want anything else? This, I don't really want to put anything from the discard pile in. Yeah, let's just throw everything on here right now, and we'll go from there. So we'll spend 2. I spent my 1 movement, and I have 4 movement left. All right, so I'll spend 2 to grab the ground bridge, which is fine. We'll spend 1 more movement here. We'll spend 3 to grab Blast Off, which is awesome, and then another movement onto Brawn. He's going to ambush me, but then I can spend 2 in order to defeat him. So with that said, his ambush is lose 1 victory point. That's fine. That's good. These are really not that difficult in order to deal with. So then it's 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is 6, 7. He gains me a victory point, which is an Energon in solo mode anyway, so I will beat him. I will throw him up here, which is great. That Energon that I would have lost from his ambush, I have now gained back. And we have 3 empty spaces in the Matrix, pushing us closer to that boss. So then now it's going to get a little nerve-wracking, trying to figure out where everything is. And hopefully we already have him here, but if not, we'll go with searching around the Matrix and exploring and finding. So, 1, 2, 3, and there we go. All right, so those would go there. That comes back. This has healed me right at the very end of the deck. Let's reshuffle and redraw. All right, the deck is getting rather big here, so we need to start doing something. All right, Nightbird immediately goes into play, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Because Nightbird would just go next to my card because it's when bought or gained, which just happens when I do this, put into play. So he just goes right into play, and I have 4 cards here in order to be able to do something with, which I think I'm immediately just going to use Mixmaster abilities and discard this in order to do that, and then we'll put up technology. You may destroy 1 card you control. I'm actually going to destroy this Rise Up just to kind of get it out of here because I don't need much of it already. And then I'll spend 1 Energon here just to get rid of that last damage card as well. So I only have 2 to spend, which isn't really that great, but I think I'm doing pretty good. All right, so that means Nightbird goes here. That's fine. This is destroyed. If destroyed, return to the stack. So it's just going to go back to the Rise Up stack. There we go. And I've destroyed this as well. So that's gone. I think actually maybe these are just removed from game after I do that because there's only so much damage that you can take. Because I've heard that people say that if you get rid of every damage card in the game, then you're invincible, which to me is kind of a weird thing to say, kind of silly, but that's all right. We're just going to play it that way. And I do have 2 movements. I'll use 1 to see what I am here with. Change of plans. Maneuver. If it's your turn, you may flip an adjacent card face down, then flip a different adjacent card face up. Oh, wow. That's, if it's an initiative or a scheme, which I know those are, then gain a damage. That's actually really cool. I am going to use another one to move up here to the Abandoned Energon Mine to spend the 2 power that I have left over to flip this. Ah, it's a desert. Pay 3 power, gain the top card of the main deck. If it's an adversary, destroy the site and place the adversary in the space and resolve an ambush. That's actually really good. I like that. Problem, though, is because I didn't remove anything from the Matrix, including the Abandoned Energon Mine, which I wanted to do, this is destroyed. Great. That didn't really help out at all. Oh, well, maybe next turn I'll be able to get something a little bit better. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. Maybe I'll just do that pay 2 power once again. I do have a block ability, which I could use for any type of ambush. You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to throw Rumble up here. Destroy a non-boss card in your... Destroy a non-boss card in your space. So I can just go to a space and destroy things, eh? Huh. All right, and those can be played anytime during my turn, which is even better. I also have destroy a robot in your space. So let's... all right, let's first... I'm going to first use the 2 power here in order to look at the card and see if I can get rid of that mind. All right, here we go. Next one is Power Up. So we know what that is. That's here. I've used that, so now once this is empty, destroy it. So that is destroyed. Hooray, hurrah, awesome, all that in between. So that's 2 that I've used for that. I do like change of plans, so we'll use the movement from the military to go down here, and then I should have 4. Yes, I definitely have 4 in order to purchase this. We can use Me Smash Brains for 1, 2, 3, and then Scavenger's ability for 4. I am in team mode, so I'm going to go ahead and take a peek at something right now just to see if it's anything good. Let's peek at you right here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is Omega. I peeked at him, so he goes right back. So we know Omega Supreme, our 3rd boss, is right here. He has a 10 health. So now we have to kind of figure out what we want to do in order to be able to combat him the best that we can. Oh, what do I want to do? I have 3 movement left. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend these movement points right here. We're going to move down here. We're still in team mode, and I have 2 movement left. So I'm going to spend the 2 movement to actually gain an Energon, just so I am prepped with enough Energon that I possibly can have in order to go up against Omega Supreme. So we know he's right here. We know he's there next turn. So I'm going to call it an end of turn now, see what I draw, and then figure out if I want to go up and beat him. All right, so change of plans goes there. All this goes away. This is a lot of energy cards that are right there that I could have used. Oh, okay. All right, here we go. +2 power if you have no cards in hand, and this card is is greater than any other you control. Oh, man, because you're the same as Shockwave. That stinks. So you would just be a 1 power anyway. What I am going to do, so I have 4 movement. I'm going to spend the 2 movement from my cards. So we're going to do this. We're going to go 1, 2, and then power plant. Pay 2 move, which is what I did. Draw 1 card or gain 1 energy. I'm going to actually draw 1 card. So I haven't spent any of this yet, so we're going to draw a card into the mix. Flight. Okay, that's fun. It is a block if you block for another player. That doesn't matter. So that's a block. So I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then if I convert to Devastator, he is 14. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put Starscream up in here, and we're going to use his ability. He does have flight. So we'll use both of his movement to fly over to Omega Supreme, flip him over, and cross our fingers. I mean, we got to do it, right? We have to do it. So we're going to move up over here, and we're going to flip Omega Supreme. We are still in team mode, so we haven't done much of anything else yet. Discard each ally you control, and then resolve an ambush, which is fine. I've already done that, so both of these go back into my deck. I've already moved to where I want to for Omega Supreme. Also, ongoing flight movement diagonal cannot be performed when you move into this card or a space adjacent to this card, gain 1 damage. Well, I'm already in the spot. I've already taken my flight over here, so that doesn't matter. I'm already in his spot. I'm not leaving this spot until I beat Omega Supreme. We also have an ambush card that we have to flip over. Destroy a non-starter, non-damage card you control. If none, 1 damage instead. Bye, Wingman. I'm just going to get rid of this one. That's fine. So that's destroyed. These go back into my discard pile. Now we're going to go ahead and let me just see here. Don't worry about any of the team mode abilities. So all these can just kind of go up here. The next time well, this would be the end of the game anyway. So let's just plop that here and go and confront Omega Supreme. Well, before I do any of that, before I move anything up here, I'm going to spend an Energon and convert. Man, I almost forgot to do that because converting to Devastator is what I need in order to really be able to take this guy down, because I gain the extra 2 power and then I can do all the combiner abilities as well. Now that we've done that, all of this can now be moved up into here, into the play zone. So now all of these guys are in play. I'm not going to worry about any of their team abilities because I'm in Devastator mode. I'm just going to move Starscream up this way just so I can do a count on everything here. And let's go ahead and confront the boss, see where he lands, and then we'll spend our Energon as we see fit. All right, so this goes here, but everything gets shuffled together anyway because we are confronting him. And then we're going to see what happens. Hopefully he doesn't gain too much additional power because there's a lot of cards in the Autobot encounter deck that do that. All right, here we go. I'm nervous. Okay. Destroy 1 robot you control. If none, gain 2 damage. I control 2 robots, and it's an attack, which unfortunately I don't have any block here. Bye, Starscream. You give me the least amount of power for this. So, Starscream is destroyed. But, but that still leaves us with 1, 2. Let's start spending some energon. So we'll put this right here. Do I need any more? So now these are 3. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I can take one of the power from Devastator right here. Shabam. And Omega Supreme, you are destroyed by the might of Devastator. Oh boy, that is that. And there you have it, everybody. Devastator has devastated the Matrix. Okay, that was a bad way to play on words and pun whatever, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Even though I used some of the team abilities through it or whatever, I think this would have probably turned out this way anyway. So, good game, Devastator. Definitely an awesome way to end that out as Devastator taking on Omega Supreme. Another super strong, powerful, tall robot against basically this one. I think Omega Supreme is technically bigger than Devastator within the lore of Transformers, but it's still a really cool image to really go back and forth with that. He's more of like, I guess, Metroplex's size, which are like way up here, whereas Devastator is like here, and then other robots are like here-ish. It's a weird way that they all have their different heights or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We were able to go on in there and combine all of our strengths and abilities together and use our power to smash that giant space station into smithereens. Now, yes, I know that I used some team powers while in Devastator Combiner mode or whatever throughout the course of this. I did catch myself. I don't know how many times I screwed it up, but I don't think it really affected the game too much. It might have even dragged things on longer if I had remembered. So we're pretty good with the way it is. I was just getting a lot of cards that gave me a lot of power, and because I had that ability to kind of stack where things were in the Matrix, being able to look at them, peek, and then put it down, or looking at the top of the deck and figuring out where it was and everything, it really gave me an advantage knowing where stuff was before actually jumping into those spaces in order to engage with the card or whatever, which is definitely a strategy to use for this game. Knowing the Matrix is like the best thing to know. Knowing is half the battle. Yes, that's a different IP. Yes, they have a crossover, but unfortunately it's not in this form or whatever. Maybe I'll actually find that other IP one day. Well, play that other IP or get it or whatever, and you'll see it. But, you know. Otherwise, we won. That being said, thank you guys so much for checking out this session of Transformers the Deck Builder. Let me know what you thought of Devastator down in the comment section below. Do you think that he is a super powerful robot that you would want to use all the time? Most likely. If not, what would you do in order to change him, to make him better? Do you think that he worked out great just the way he is? His powers are all right? Do you like the combiner mechanic, which I would love to see in future expansions of this game? Give me Bruticus, give me Superion, give me, I know that there's more out there that I just can't think of off the top of my head. The Combaticons are in here. I don't think those are Bruticus, maybe they are, I don't know. The Predacons are in here, they form together to form Predaking. Give me a Dinobot combiner, because technically by today's standards, Volcanus I think is what his name is, where the Dinobots combine together. Because they definitely need more power, don't they? That's sarcastic, they do not. They are monsters in their own right. At some point I will be playing the Infiltration Protocol scenario for Transformers the Deck Building game, but for right now, I did enjoy just playing as Devastator, the Constructicons, and the first combiner for this game. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see more like this in the future. Speaking of which, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Home Gamer Dad so you don't miss any future Transformers deck building action, or, as stated, anything fun for the future that I happen to put out for you to enjoy. As always, take care of yourselves and each other. We are family forever, gaming together. Until next time, everyone, have a good one, and I will see you in the next one.